Moments that required a lot of police enforcement today. A SWAT standoff just recently ended in Groves. Justin Hinton joins us live from the scene. Justin, how did this all start?
Jessica, well, it all started today around 11:20. Lieutenant Kirk Rice with the Groves Police Department says there was a domestic disturbance call at the residence that's behind me. And yes, that SWAT standoff did end not too long ago. And according to Lieutenant Rice, that it did end with a deceased male body found inside. I want to bring in Lieutenant Rice right now to talk about what exactly happened during today and during the standoff.
The officers were dispatched to the residence at 6200 block of Jackson at approximately 11:20 this morning. The call went out as a male and female disturbance. Supposedly the male had a gun. Officers arrived on scene, learned that the female had fled the residence. She was bound at that point in time. Her hands were bound together, and she went to a neighbor's residence and was followed by the male subject, who actually pointed the gun at the neighbor. The neighbor went back into his house to get his gun, and when he returned, the subject was gone. And we spoke to some residents in the area who advised that they had witnessed the incident. The male had supposedly fired a couple rounds into the park across the street from the residence, and then went back into the house.
Now, when you talk about the park that is across the street, we're talking literally right across the street from where this residence is. How dangerous is that in this area? Because from what I understand, there were kids out there at this time?
Yeah, there's a spray park directly across from the residence, and also a swimming pool. And at the time, there was, kids in the park and residents, out and about in their front yards.
And so at that time, when the woman was then able to get next door, and then the man then went back to his own residence. And so what happened once the SWAT standoff really escalated and kind of when you guys were forced to go inside? Can you talk about that moment?
Sure. We set up for approximately, I guess, for the last 2 or 3 hours. We were assisted by Port Arthur SWAT, along with Jefferson County SWAT. Hostage negotiators attempted several hours trying to get the person to respond, and also all family members were called, and they attempted to contact them. And after several hours, like I said, of negotiating, we used tear gas to enter the residence. And at that time, once we entered the residence, we located the male subject in the doorway, deceased.
And so then, are you guys under the impression that he shot himself, or where did that come from?
Well, this is, I guess, too early at this point in time. We're kind of in the infancy of this investigation. We're treating it as a crime scene at this point in time, and we have investigators on scene right now, and hopefully we'll have that information shortly.
So what is the next step then in this investigation?
First of all, we're going to determine, if it was a self-inflicted, gunshot wound, or, if it was possibly by overdose. We're not really sure at this point in time. So again, hopefully we'll have that information shortly.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
And again, Jessica, like you said, this is in the early stages. The SWAT standoff just ended. So as we continue to find out more information, we'll definitely make sure to let you know. Reporting live in Groves, Justin Hinton, Fox 4 News.
Thank you, Justin, for that information.